Ethnic groups from all over the world met for 10 days in the desert of Saudi Arabia to demonstrate their skills and to share their cultural heritage. Tens of thousands of visitors enjoyed seeing the participants in national costumes at the world's largest ethno-cultural festival, Nomad Universe. People from over 100 nations participated and performed their characteristic songs and dances. The event was not only a success, it was historical. The festival was located on a stretch of 30 million square meters in the desert of Saudi Arabia. They set up all necessary infrastructure for the different activities and performances and built 120 yurts in just 6 weeks. For many centuries, this place, 150 kilometers from the capital city Riyadh, has served as a meeting point for camel caravans arriving from all points of the Arabian Peninsula. The vision for this event has its roots in Kyrgyzstan. We organized the World Nomad Games 3 times in Kyrgyzstan, and there were many delegations from different countries, including Saudi Arabia and a delegation from the Camel Club. When they saw the size of the event and the way we hold the event, they liked it, and they said that they are nomads too. And they would like to develop in the same direction and create something unique. The Kyrgyz hunters trained diligently in the heat and dust of the desert for the performance at the opening ceremony. Hunting dogs and birds of prey were flown in from Kyrgyzstan. Dogs were always assisting hunters, and our Kyrgyz hunters saved those traditions in order to pass it to their inheritors. Archery was also part of nomadic life in the past, and it is still in their blood. Women were warriors too.
I want to show what it was before in my country, and that's why I chose this sport. Before in my country, the woman was really strong woman and can do hunting like a man. That's why I chose bow shooting.
Ada has perfected the art of archery. It requires absolute body control to shoot a bow and arrow with your feet. If we look at the history of our nomad period, our women were not sitting in the house unlike in other countries. Women were on a par with men and did the same work as men, even taking part in hunting. But there is time for fun and competition as well. The traditional horse game cock-baroo is one example among many. And everybody is willing to teach their skills to others. The main purpose of this festival is to show the culture of the nomad people, to show the art of the nomad people, and most important, the unity of nomad people. To unite people, and nation or religion doesn't matter. This revival of diversity is supported through some of the best ethno-cultural artists, folklore groups, and ensembles from all over the world. The combination of art, sport, and science in such a setting is unique. There are around 100 countries participating in this project, and this project is differing by the new direction. We're giving a new direction to the world, an ethnic direction. We are creating that ethnic direction, and the project contains 3 main parts. First is ethnic culture, second ethnic sport, and third is science and education. an academic direction. Ethno-sport includes wrestling as a test of two people's strength. Its origin dates back 5,000 years. It was important training for young men and the favorite sport of aristocrats, soldiers, and shepherds. MAS, wrestling with a traditional stick, is a popular ethno-sport.
It is an indigenous sport from Saka, and we try as hard as we can to maintain the traditions and how it's performed.
Exchange between people was motivated and encouraged by Nomad Universe. But many important encounters couldn't be organized. They were just happening all day long. The encounter starts already at the breakfast table. There are many young people, and you enter the room and hear about 10 different languages. It is an outstanding experience for me. It's marvelous. I get to know places and people that I never thought I would get to know. Wonderful cultures with such a nice exchange.
We have met some countries from, for example, Central America, from Argentina, from Mexico. They are different, the way of thinking, the way of talking, the way of dancing. So it's very nice to learn about them and they learn about us.
I think actually we come to impact a great culture of our own place, and equally we'll learn much from other countries.
Everybody got acquainted with new dance styles, new melodies and new techniques. Many thought this would be just another event. Later on, they realized they're part of a much bigger picture.
When we arrived, we had no idea we would be coming into this. We understood there'd be a festival, but we didn't know the expanse of it. It's just phenomenal.
We want to communicate love, brotherhood, and unity. This is the most important point, especially unity.
Mai ponti, solo unione.
You know there are a lot of different colors, faces of the world, and when some of the colors are getting lost, the world is getting gray. That's why we should not lose them. We need to keep our tradition because it is very important. Nowadays there are computers and new technologies. There are many people who forget their language, traditions, culture. But if we forget about traditions, language and culture, our country will be forgotten too. Musical and theatrical performance are part of the legacy and reflect the cultural background. Ethno-music is especially relevant and plays an important part of bringing people together. A country cannot exist without a history, a heritage, and a culture. This is why it is very important that we are presenting our culture and that the revival of our nomadic culture is taking place now. Participating countries offered typical goods and souvenirs at the ethnic market. The products were brought from abroad and transformed the zone into a global bazaar. Visitors were invited to taste national Kyrgyz cuisine in different variations. and surprises were waiting around every colourful corner. The world is in constant motion, and so is mankind. The future is still unwritten, but the participants are optimistic that the heritage of the past will not be forgotten.
The next generation, they continue to communicate the culture and communicate the different things to different one country, the other country.
Мы показываем эту культуру, и она проходит дальше.
Our future generation will be thankful for that. It is needed to remember your traditions and your roots. If you don't know your traditions and your roots, and you have no knowledge about your culture, then there is no civilization as itself. The relationship between humans and wild or domestic animals have long been an integral part of mankind and were necessary to survive in a hostile environment. Today, some are still beneficial for ethnic groups to keep their own history alive. Every folk has its own traditions and animals that help humans in everyday life, but not everyone managed to save it until nowadays.
We should not forget our tradition and culture, and we want to show it. And that's why small children and young people have to know it, and they also now came and tried to bow shooting.
The success of Nomad Universe could be illustrated with concrete figures, but it is much more than numbers. The most important result is the impact on the lives of thousands of participants and tens of thousands of visitors. The International Culture Festival has come to an end, and it has shown stunning results. Everybody admits that this project, Nomad Universe Festival, has its own spirit and has its own life. When the guests from Saudi Arabia and other countries felt this spirit, they said we need such projects for uniting everybody. Nomad Universe will continue to preserve the historical heritage for the coming generation to meet the challenges of the future. People will come together again to demonstrate their uniqueness and promote unity at the same time. Saudi Arabia will host the festival annually until 2030, in line with their global vision.